Angel here at SwissWatchExpo again, and we'll be taking a look at my 3 best men's watches for ladies. Stick around. Angel here again at SwissWatchExpo, and today we're taking a look at my 3 favorite men's watches for ladies. We're going to take a look at the Rolex Datejust, the Omega Aqua Terra, and also the Cartier Ronde. First up is your classic Rolex Datejust in the 36 millimeter. However, it is a little more glitzy, a little more glam. You'll have the full diamond bezel here, a black Tahitian dial on the stone dial that you have, along with diamond markers at the numbers. So it makes it a little more rare. That black Tahitian pearl is very difficult to find, of course, named because you find this in the cold seas of Tahiti and French Polynesia, and the oyster that this comes from can actually grow up to 10 pounds. So you get a nice sliver of stone here on the dial. And Rolex always does a beautiful job with taking the slab that will also still showcase the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust insignia. I love the Jubilee bracelet in combination with this because you'll have a little satin as well as a little polish going through the middle. So it gives you a little glam as well. And then of course, just your typical styling with the bracelet. It's a 6-digit series. So you'll have the hidden clasp here, which makes it nice and streamlined when you're wearing the watch every day. And also the bezel is going to be done in the 18 karat white gold for the setting of the stones, as well as the numbers that are on the dial as well. So beautiful option, great for everyday wear, great for a lady that wants something that's just going to stand out a tad bit from everyone else. 36 millimeters is a great size too for everyday wear. Next up is going to be the Aqua Terra. And actually this watch, even though it's 38.5 millimeters, Omega actually considers this a ladies model. However, I see plenty of watches in the gentleman's watches that are 38 millimeters. So this can be worn by either a lady or a man. Done in the steel with the 18 karat rose gold. You'll have over 1.87 carats of diamonds. They're going to be in the near colorless range, which allows it to be worn with many different jewelry styles. So, you know, if you have some D flawless diamonds, they're going to look really, really great. Also, if you have something kind of middle of the road, it's going to look really great with your engagement ring or a bracelet if you decide to layer it. Also, it's going to have the coaxial escapement, in-house movement. It's going to have a 60-hour power reserve. So it is an automatic watch. However, 60-hour power reserve is great. Something you can take off at night and pop it back on. You don't have to deal with resetting the time. You'll have the sweep here with the Superluminova broad arrow hands. I love the fact that they have that detailing of the arrow on the side of the sweep there. As you see, it goes, it's gorgeous. It looks great against the white mother of pearl. And then of course, diamond markers around the numbers. And then of course, you'll have the beautiful exhibition case back. I love that detail that a lot of watches have decided to implement on some of the automatic movements. So Omega makes a great watch. This has a nice significant size, a little bit thicker case, but it is substantial. It shows that you mean business and that you know about watches if you're going to be wearing this one. And then last, but certainly not least, this is the largest of the bunch. I know you're thinking this is a huge watch. It's 42 millimeters, but because the case is so thin, it really lends itself to being worn beautifully by a lady. Of course, you'll have round brilliance around the diamond bezel here. I picked ones that had diamonds because us ladies, we love diamonds no matter where they are. And then of course, you'll have the pave diamond dial. Typically when you see someone looking at the Cartier round watches versus the square or tank shape watches and you want something that has a little more detail, people kind of look at the Rotonde. But this Ronde is a beautiful example of the high watchmaking that Cartier has. It's going to have, of course, the Roman numerals around the outside. And then for the more international clients that maybe use military time, you'll have a smaller ring that has the 24-hour date wheel. And then, or I'm sorry, hour markers there. And then you'll have the small seconds at the 10, which is kind of an odd placement. Typically, you'll see your seconds at the 6 when you have a smaller dial that's going to implement showing the seconds as they go. But up at the 10, I think it adds just that much more detail, that much more uniqueness to the watch. The blue steel hands in the brigade style. And of course, this watch was actually created in 1937 by Louis Cartier himself. So we're not sure of the exact time or year, I'm sorry, the exact month that the watch was created, but we know that he had a huge influence on the design of this watch. Also, you'll of course have that signature diamond round brilliant cut on the crown here, turned on the pavilion with the Q-lit pointing outward. And it is an in-house Cartier movement, so it is an MC movement. And you'll have the signature deployant clasp on the back, skin strap. Beautiful. It feels great on the wrist, nice and slim, but it makes a huge statement. You wear this and you don't need to have bracelet on or anything with it. It kind of takes care of everything for you. So my top choices for larger watches for ladies, men's watches for ladies. I've noticed that, you know, the men are kind of going back into more of the traditional style sizes as far as like the 36, 34, 33. But us ladies, we're here to take up space. So if you want to do it, here's the way to do it. Give us a call here at the showroom. We can get into more details about the watches, show you on FaceTime. Give us a shout out in the comments below. Let us know what you think are the best watches for ladies coming up soon. We'll talk to you next time, and thanks for sticking around.